You're listening to musician, author, and educator Bobby Borg, breaking down music, business, and marketing basics so they stick.
Hey everybody, my name is Bobby Borg and welcome to USC's DIY Podcast Studio. And the topic of my discussion today is music, lessons, money. And for those of you guys that don't know me, I'm a former major label independent and DIY recording and touring artist, an author of several music business and marketing books, and an adjunct professor and consultant too. So most musicians know how difficult it is to make music and money and music, right? Very difficult. But when I graduated from Berkeley, what I actually did is made money and paid bills and covered expenses by teaching music lessons. However, not everybody knows how to set up a music teaching lesson business. They usually do not know how to create curriculum, target their market, price, or promote. So what I'd like to do is offer 10 tips that can help you to be more successful. So let's get started. So getting good might seem like a very basic tip, but I'm absolutely 100% serious. You have to actually ask yourself, are you skilled and experienced enough to teach? Because you could do damage to people if you are not. For example, if you don't have the proper vocal technique, you can really do damage to someone. If I do not have the proper drum technique, I can create years of bad habits, bad posture, and so on and so forth. So make sure that you really are skilled and experienced. Before I started teaching, I had a 4-year degree from Berklee College of Music. I was studying with some of the world's greatest drummers, and I had put in my 10,000 hours for sure. So again, don't just do it for the money. Really ask yourself, are you ready to teach? You have to look at this responsibly. Lots of people don't think about targeting their market when they go into teaching, but this is very, very important because it's going to have everything to do with how you set up your business. Let me explain. If I was teaching 8 to 12-year-olds, for example, I might be focusing on things like how to hold the sticks, coordination, and just trying to keep them interested. If it's 12 to 20, they're going to want to know all the chops and polyrhythmic fills and all that crazy stuff, right? And above that, my audience is going to want to know things like how to groove, how to get the audition, how to get the gig, and what they should get paid. So the first thing you need to do is really focus in on your target audience and really ask yourself, where are your strengths, okay? Next, once you have that, create the curriculum for that target audience. In other words, don't wing it when they come in, right? Be prepared. I had a folder of rudiments, a folder of solos, a folder of grooves, a folder of Latin, jazz, etc. I had charts prepared. This way you look extremely organized. You're very, very proficient in your teaching, and they will certainly respect that. So first, target your audience and then create the curriculum for that target audience. Looking at competitors is something that a lot of people don't do, and when they think about competitors, they always think about bad stuff, right? Like my competitors, and they're out to get me, and I'm out to get them. Competitors are our friends. I'll say it again, competitors are our friends because we can learn from them. Look at them, study their strengths, look at their products, their pricing, their placing, their promotion, and learn from them. Look at also their weaknesses, what they're not doing well. And then most importantly, look at the hole in the marketplace that they're not covering. And that's maybe where you can position yourself and create a competitive advantage. So when you're doing your marketing, you could say, well, these guys do this, but we do this. And make sure that whatever this is, it's different, distinct, and memorable and important to your target audience. You don't want to be different for the sake of being different. So look at your competitors, know what's out there, and learn. Very important tip. Yeah, set your goals, right? You guys hear that all the time, set your goals and blah, 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 right? Well, have you heard about SMART goals? Because when you set goals, you want to be very specific, measurable, attainable, roadmapped, and time-based. Let me explain. Specific, what is it that you want to do? Right? You're starting a teaching practice part-time? Are you doing a teaching practice full-time? Do you want to just have 10 students? Do you want to have 100 students? Do you want to create a franchise maybe? Right? This is important. Be very specific about what it is that you're trying to achieve. Next is measurable. How do we know when we are successful, right? So you have some sort of quantifiable component attached to that. Like, for example, you're trying to make X amount of dollars per year, or you want to get X number of students per year. You know, this is very, very important because now you can actually measure and manage your success, right? Because if you have no specific measurable component, you don't know if you're making progress. The next thing is attainable. Is what you're trying to do reasonable? Is it doable, right? So you want to speak to other professionals to see whether or not what you're doing makes sense, okay? And then the R is roadmapped. How are you going to get there? We'll talk a little bit more about promotion and things like that, but you want to ask yourself and you want to know, like, how are we going to get where it is that we're trying to go? And then T is just time-based. So you always want to have a time component within 6 months, within a year. So definitely make sure to set your SMART goals because it's really going to help you to understand your business. It's going to help to understand the growth of your business and what you need from a budget standpoint, what you need from a resource standpoint. So set your SMART goals. You know, when people think about product, they're going to think about, well, I teach drum lessons, right? Or vocal lessons. You know, I teach one-on-one and that's it. But there's so much more. Expand that product line. Think about this. Do I just teach drum lessons one-on-one? Or could I actually teach ensemble lessons? I can teach drummers how to play with other bass players and how to lock in, or how to play behind vocals, right? When the vocalist actually comes in on the verse, bop, bring it down. When they come up, you bring it up with them, right? And then you bring it back down. You know, very, very important stuff. Then how about your stage performance, like visual skills, right? That's also very, very important too, and can be sort of a product offering in and of itself, right? Stage techniques, right? Talking in between songs, things of that nature. Right? Then, of course, a lot of people are going to want to know audition techniques. So maybe what you can do is some sort of mock audition class, let's just say, for example, so that, you know, when they get out there, they actually get the gigs. There's definitely an art to this, right? And then, of course, there's going to be many people that want to know about the business. So when they do get gigs, right, when they get good at their instruments and now they go out and get gigs, well, what are you supposed to get paid? What's a PD? What's a buyout? What's a retainer? What are incidentals? What's the union, right? All of these things are very, very important. So maybe that could be a product offering. And then, of course, you can even expand into writing articles, right? Little excerpts and articles and things like that that you get published in things like Guitar Player and Modern Drummer and things of that nature. And they pay you a flat fee for that kind of thing. And then those things can then become a book, right? And then all of that can then become a clinic, you know? So kind of really think about what you are doing and expand that product line. You want to bring in as much revenue as possible, and you want to have different revenue streams, okay? This is what's going to keep you successful, all right? So everybody, what I'm trying to do is break down music, business, and marketing basics so that they stick. Today we talked about music, lessons, money. So I hope these tips will help you out, and I certainly hope that you check out the next clip. All right, you guys, so as I always say, peace. Hey everybody, if you like the videos that you just watched, please be sure to check out my books, Business Basics for Musicians and Music Marketing for the DIY Musician, available at Amazon.com, BobbyBorg.com, or any fine bookseller. Thanks again for watching, and peace.